Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Bros Having Convos. It's me, Wes, and
And me, Tim.
we're going to be talking about a show we recently finished, which was the show Welcome to Waikiki. It's a Korean drama, rom-com, I guess you could say.
Dramedy? Would you call that?
Dramedy, yeah.
There's not a lot of drama in there, though.
Well, it's very dramatic.
It's dramatic.
Very dramatic.
Okay, in that case, then yeah, a dramedy.
Dramedy. So it's a really, really funny show that we recently finished, and I have to say it's probably one of my most favorite shows in general. Not just Korean shows or Asian shows, just shows in general. So we're going to get right into it. First, I'm going to talk about the plot, then we're going to talk about our likes and dislikes, and go from there. All right, so the show. Welcome to Waikiki. What is it about? So it's about a group of guys that kind of have this what do you call it? This dream to basically direct a movie. So they have three characters. They have Junki, who's basically like at the beginning of the show he's like a failed actor. He wants to like act in movies. Then you have Donggu, Kim Donggu.
Yeah.
Where he's like a director, a failed director also. And then what's that guy's name?
I forget his name.
Oh, dang, what's his name?
Yeah, the guy with the glasses.
The guy with the glasses. And he's a writer. So they basically have most of the like components of being a good like I guess like film team.
Oh, Dushik.
Dushik, yeah. So he's a writer. And basically they're like this failed group of guys. They're like in their late 30s, and they're like basically like just trying to survive. They own this guest house called Waikiki, and basically they're trying to use in Korea, yeah. Waikiki in Korea, and they're basically using that and living off of the I guess the proceeds of that to help eventually fund their movie. But then at the point you meet them in the show, that not even the guest house is like functioning well.
It's not even doing well.
It's not even doing well. So we kind of follow those three characters throughout the show. They introduce also Donggu's sister, Sojin.
Yeah.
She also lives at the guest house, and she's also kind of in the same boat where she's kind of like a failed reporter.
Yeah.
Failed reporter.
She's trying to get a reporter job.
Yeah, exactly.
A journalist.
So she's trying to be a journalist, and at the point she's just like them, kind of failed. She doesn't have a job yet, and then it all kind of kicks off when one of the characters, what's her name, Yuna,
yeah.
Yeah, Yuna leaves. They find a baby at the guest house, and they're like, "What the heck? Whose baby is this?" And eventually find out it's a lady's baby,
Yeah,
obviously.
Just one single mom baby.
Yeah, single mom's baby, and she ends up staying at the house because they feel bad for her being a single mom and stuff like that. So it kind of follows that main cast, and then they add like another Donggu's ex.
Yeah.
At some point, like midway to the show. So that's kind of like the main premise.
The main premise and the main cast of characters.
Cast of
It's
characters.
like 3 guys, 3 girls.
Yeah. So
They're
it kind of follows them, but then what makes this show so special is that the comedy revolving around them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what we really appreciate, and I really liked about the show is that it's a really funny show. Like,
yeah,
everyone should watch this show.
Yeah. Maybe not everyone.
Maybe not everyone,
like it.
But yeah, we highly recommend it just because it's hilarious. If you like that brand of humor that they present, which is like, how can you describe the brand of humor?
It's like the characters being put in ridiculous situations. I don't know if there's like a word for that.
Yeah, they're basically put into like ridiculous situations. So do you want to like talk about like one ridiculous situation or like
yeah. I think one of the ridiculous situation that the show revolves around basically throughout the entire show is Donggu's sister, Sojin, is basically the thing with her that they kind of just keep poking fun at and then just take throughout the entire show is that she's a girl who grows a beard.
She grows facial hair.
She grows facial hair.
So
like
yeah,
so that's on the on the surface level, that's already funny.
Yeah, that's already like ridiculous, right?
Yeah,
It's just
it's like
ridiculous.
you
A
wouldn't
woman
really see that in a normal day
in a
life.
normal day. So that's like something they bring throughout the entire show is that she can grow facial hair. So it's kind of
Yeah.
just they poke fun at her and they bring up she's thrown into like random situations where that's kind of like the main central issue.
Yeah.
So that's why it's hilarious what they do with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like stuff like that. If you're into like comedy where it's like just ridiculous, and I think you'll enjoy this show.
Yeah.
I guess from here we're gonna talk about what we liked about the show.
Well, I think you already mentioned it a little bit, but just the fact that how funny it was. Like me and Wes haven't like laughed like that from watching a TV show for a while. Like we're going into like the really hard laughs, like crying laughs kind of thing. It's really ridiculous. It's just the ridiculousness of the situations that they're put in. For example, it's just like even like little things that they sprinkle in there, like one of the guys, the failed actor, he buys a car and it's like literally what would you call that? It's like broken down.
Yeah, it's like literally like a junk car.
Yeah,
like you should not be driving that around.
Yeah, it's like the windows don't work, like like the handles, like one of the characters break off the handle. It's like literally the car is like falling apart, but then it's like that's all he can afford, and he like treasures it so much. He loves the car, and it's just like one of the things, if that wasn't already kind of funny. He just names the car. Out of all the names, he names it Rebecca. Like just like little things like that. It's like this, even though it's like just a really minor thing. It's just like him calling his car that's like a beater of a car.
A beater car.
And another thing, he
loves it.
loves it, and then he calls it Rebecca. That's just it's.
Yeah, and then the situation. See, they introduced this car like probably like a quarter of the way through the show, and it shows up all the
Again.
times in the show, and it's just used the comedy that they set up for that early in the show. Just they reuse it, and it's not like they're reusing it in a way that it's repetitive. They reuse it to serve the story really well.
Yeah.
Like one of the characters learned how to drive a car.
Yeah.
And that's the car she starts with.
Yeah.
The beater car. It's like there's no reason why she needs to be like.
No, and then another thing that made that episode funny, and that situation kind of funny, it was that she was like 29 years old.
Yeah.
The girl was 29 years old, and she didn't know how to drive.
Yeah. So it's like it's just all these funny situations that kind of piles up on each other, and watching throughout the show, it kind of they build on your previous knowledge, so that's why it's funny at that point.
It's like they build up like almost like inside jokes with the audience, and it's like because the audience is there, they could catch on to all these things that they can call back to in the later episodes.
Yeah, and on top of that, using the callbacks, I think the show just wouldn't have had as big as an impact if it weren't for the actors and actresses involved too.
Yeah.
I think, so one of the characters, Junki, the failed actor, I think he almost carries the show.
Yeah.
For a good
Almost.
amount. Like,
Yeah.
almost carries the entire show, because the way he responds to things, his reactions, and like just overall characterization of his character.
Yeah.
He just pulls it off really well. He's kind of like the comic relief to an extent.
Yeah.
Where just everything he gets into is like something like so ridiculous. Like, for example, he's a failed actor, so he's just trying to take up any type of gig he can just to get his name out there and to get experience. He gets this. Well, which one should I talk about? Which role?
I remember one. I just thought of that I was like kind of laughing in my head right now, just thinking about it. Was the one is like was it the Marines?
Oh yeah, the Marine.
Was it what was it? It was in the Marine or like SEALs or something.
Yeah,
like
the
that.
Marine.
Yeah,
the Marine one.
Like it was supposed to be like a war movie.
Well, he thought it was a war.
He
movie.
thought it was a war movie. I mean,
Yeah, he thought it was a war movie. So he was at the audition dressed up in army uniform, and he was
and
like
then
practicing.
he started off the scene kind of like at his audition, kind of like going like, yeah, like I will die for you.
I'll
Like
die for
I'll
you.
die for my country.
I'll carry you. And then he's pretending he's carrying the person out on his back, and then the guy gets shot, and he's like, no, like
yeah.
he's like really trying to sell it, but then at the end of his audition, it's like, you know what we're talking, you know what this movie's about, right? It's like, what? It's like, Marine, right? Marine,
Marines, yeah.
Marine. And he's like, no, this is a swimming competition.
No, and
like
then,
marine biology.
yeah, and it's like funny how it's like he's dressed up all in like the war like uniform and all that. He has the war paint on his face.
Yeah, he has war paint and everything.
It's kind of like, well, the more you think about it, it's like it's funnier.
Yeah,
like it's like no, like before he started the audition, no one said anything.
Yeah, no one said anything about that. So it's like, it's hilarious. And so they're about to dismiss him for, like basically getting the role wrong. It's like,
yeah,
you can't do this. And he was like, no, like I'll do anything. I'll do anything to get this
swing
role.
movie, and he just starts taking off the uniform.
Yeah, he taking off the uniform. He's like, no, sorry, you can't take. He's like, why? It's like, look at all that body hair.
Yeah,
you
and
ever see a swimmer with body hair? And he was like, okay, I'll shave everything except for my head, like the top of my head.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'll do it for the role, because he's just really desperate to get a role.
Yeah.
In a movie. So this portion of the episode is kind of just revolved around
him getting like shaving his whole body, like even getting waxed.
Yeah, getting waxed, and then that kind of ties into
the next thing.
Thing.
No spoilers,
No
but
spoilers.
The episode even gets even funnier.
So yeah, so that's just some of the things. Like, I think Junki really pulls off, because I don't know if it was any other actor, like if it was Donggu's actor, for example, I don't think he'd be able to like pull off that.
Yeah, like he really,
wackiness.
like his just the way that he looks and the way that he portrays the character. He really goes just like all in.
Yeah, he goes all in. Yeah, so he is a really good actor, and not saying that the other ones weren't good, but I think Junki really, he was like the perfect choice. Yeah. The other actors for example, Donggu's character, he kind of plays this like, how do you say this? Almost like, how do you say, like complacent. He's just like, oh, whatever,
Yeah.
He's almost like the guy in the group where he doesn't really care much.
Yeah.
About, he's almost like I think he's the oldest of all of them. He's the
the
oldest, so he kind of
oldest.
plays that older brother, but then the older brother that's kind of like, that's dumb. That's dumb, like.
Yeah, it's like he likes tells things how it is.
Yeah, he tells things how it is. It's like, you're gonna do that? That's dumb,
Yeah.
He's kind of like that character. And then Dushik is like the youngest, I think.
Yeah,
he's the youngest, but so he's like the most, like, I guess, inexperienced one there. But he himself gets into like a lot of like funny situations.
Yeah.
Too. But yeah, I mean, that's why like the actors, the entire cast was good. Even the female characters, Yuna was oh yeah, there's a thing about her that you just completely catches you off guard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Completely catches you off guard.
Should you like spoil that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil
Yeah.
it, but she has this thing where it completely catches you off guard, and you're just like, what? But
Yeah.
she plays it off really well, and it's pretty funny. And then the entire cast was great.
Yeah.
Humor is great. I recommend for anyone who and I guess for me too, it really stuck out because when it came to like Korean dramas, K-dramas, they all kind of, it's the romance that's what kind of gets you pulled into these things. And like, I'm the type of guy who doesn't really like, I choose my shows wisely. Like, I don't go into any show lightly. Like, I read the plot or the synopsis, I'm gonna like, oh, so it's like a basic love story. Okay,
Yeah, it's
whatever.
like-
I'll pass.
Yeah, it's like it really needs to have some kind of good plot, something that really pulls you in. Instead of just like the standard, there's a guy in love with a girl, and then there's a love triangle and stuff. I don't know. It's like, at least for us, I think it's
almost like repetitive too.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like a little repetitive.
I can kind
to
of
us.
see where this is going after,
Yeah.
a couple episodes, and you
Yeah.
can kind of predict what's happening. So when it came to this one, I had a lot of like the drama tropes.
Yeah.
But in terms of the comedy, it really
Yeah.
threw me and
Yeah.
you off guard.
And I think like another thing they did with that, they they use those drama tropes.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they played around with
Played
it.
around with
It's
it
like
in
they,
a comedy.
yeah,
Like they use it to an example. Like
yeah.
you would expect it to go this way because that's what most dramas do.
But then they
fact,
flip it around,
yeah,
and like do something different with it, just to play off of it, to make comedy.
yeah, to make comedy. So yeah, I think that's
That's pretty cool. Another thing, if we can like get into this, another thing I appreciated about it is, I wouldn't say it's a woke show.
Yeah, I
There's,
wouldn't
like,
say
no
it's
wokeness.
Yeah, and yeah, when it comes to wokeness, I don't see any. Like that's what made it enjoyable for me. Is like if this was like an American show, there would be spots of the show where I'd be like, oh man, they're gonna throw like a feminist joke. Oh, they're gonna throw in like a politically, you have to think this way kind of joke, but they didn't, and that's what I really appreciate about a lot of these Korean shows. I mean, I can't speak for all of them, just the ones I've watched, is that they tend to just not throw in that woke garbage in it. And
yeah, and it seemed like they're, at least like in the,
we talked about this in All of Us Are Dead too.
yeah, like how it's like, now of course not all of them, there are some of them that there's like feminism and stuff like that, but then like they I guess tend to go more towards just making a good show, or towards making a good story.
Yeah, instead of trying to make a statement every single. I'm like, really? Like that's what I hate about like watching movies or TV shows, especially when they're like woke or like that. We can talk about like the Disney Plus shows. Yeah. Especially when they got like, there's some things where I'm like, really now? Come on.
That's like we
don't need this in the show. Like, can we just
if we took this out, like it wouldn't affect the show at all.
It wouldn't affect the show. So that's why I really appreciate the non-wokeness of it. And yeah,
it's
keep doing what you're doing, Korea.
Yeah,
like, I love your shows.
Awesome. Like that was a really, I really appreciate that from this show, and welcome to Waikiki.
Yeah. Okay, we can get into like our dislikes. So honestly, throughout this conversation, I was trying to think of like a dislike thing of this, like what I dislike, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, like, was there anything? Oh, I think one thing I kind of disliked about it was the ending, how they ended the show. They kind of ended off the show kind of almost abruptly, but it's like the ending was okay. It didn't like, they let the ending go on with like loose ends.
Yeah, they could have made it ambiguous of what happened,
Oh, like I feel like I wouldn't mind that. I didn't really mind that. It's just the fact that, or not the fact that, but then they didn't wrap it up like as well as they could have.
Yeah, because it ends in a way where it's like, oh wow, that's where they are. They do like a time jump, and then that's where they are at that point. And it's like, oh, that's good. But then it kind of like,
yeah, I don't know. It just didn't feel like they could have wrapped up the ending better. Yeah,
I guess they
did say that they extended the show, right?
Yeah, they extended it like 4 or 2 episodes, I believe.
Yeah,
and it was because the reception of the show was really great, so they're like, oh yeah, let's make more episodes. Yeah. But then, yeah, that could be why. But I really,
the ending was all right. They did like 1 or 2 more episodes to like tie up. I'm not saying that all the loose ends need to be tied up, but then at least so that you could like, I guess, take everyone to their end. Their end, and then wrap it up well.
Yeah,
I don't know what it was exactly.
Yeah, there's some characters that didn't have
feel like that way.
A complete ending. That's why.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like, I guess maybe that was like a problem.
I think
it's like, how do you end this kind of show
like this? I think they also try to leave it open for sequels in the future, and that's what they did with season 2.
Yeah.
We haven't watched that one yet, but hopefully it's as good as the first one. But yeah, I mean, there's not much I can say that I dislike about it at the moment. It's kind of I'd say honestly, it's a really, really solid show. I like the little cameos from like other I wouldn't say A-list. Are they A-list actors? I don't know. But actors from other, famous actors from Korea that kind of made their one episode appearance in the show. So
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Yeah, I can't think of anything I really disliked.
Yeah.
Not really.
I think like it's like they did the character arcs pretty well. I think it's just like wrapping up all of the characters' stories at the end.
Yeah.
Like it kind of felt like incomplete. I don't know. At least that's just how I felt about it.
Yeah.
Like everyone had an arc. Like
yeah, it was pretty solid.
yeah. Like well, I was about to start getting to spoiler territory. Like what their arc was.
Yeah.
But
well, I think overall it's a really solid show. If I do think of something I dislike, it'd probably be maybe 1 or 2 episodes. The comedy wasn't as funny as other episodes.
It didn't land as well.
Land as well, right?
Or the jokes weren't as funny.
Like or on top of that, like it wasn't funny and they kind of dragged it out a little bit too long. Like, it's like so.
Yeah, like some of them, like I noticed like some episodes we weren't laughing as much.
Yeah. There's maybe like 1 or 2 episodes that I was like, but then like that's expected for a show that runs like almost 20 episodes. You're gonna have 1 or 2 inside there that kind of like don't hit the mark as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean that's what I could come up with right now.
Yeah.
But do you have anything else?
I think. Well, I mean, if we're talking about just like the rating for the show, we do like recommend it for like maybe like more adult, like young adult, not for the. I like that one thing that prevents me from saying like, oh yeah, watch it with the family.
Yeah,
I can't say that. Oh yeah, watch it with the family.
Yeah, because there's like
there's a couple like 1 or 2
3 episodes that kind of go into like adult territory. So it's kind of like it goes into adult territory. Let's just say that. And so
but there is the comedy of that one. It's just like it's like, oh man.
Yeah, it's like they play it off as comedy because it is really ridiculous the situation that one of the characters get into.
Yeah.
So I would say it's like if you're taking like movies, it's like PG-13. It's like parental guidance kind of thing. That's where I would.
Don't watch it with the kids. It's not.
It's not
put the kids to bed first.
Yeah.
Then watch it.
We're using that rating now. It's like put the kids to bed first and then watch it with your spouse.
Yeah, and like maybe you can your older kids.
Yeah, the older kids you can probably
watch it with your older kids. And I don't know who we talking. Are we talking to the adults?
I don't even know who we're talking to.
We're just talking to our. I don't know who our audience is.
Yeah, who's our audience? Leave it down in the comments
who you are.
Social security, your address,
your age.
Oh, there, age.
Your age. How old are you?
Let us know. But let's wrap up the episode.
In conclusion,
it's a really, really good show.
Really, I think
hilarious.
Mainly just because of how much we laughed.
Yeah,
we had a really good time.
Really,
with it.
Really good time.
And we did it. At least I didn't want it to end.
Yeah, like I was like, man, this. It's so great. The situations that they're throwing into is just amazing.
Yeah, the hilarious. Cinematography is really nicely shot.
Yeah, nicely shot too.
Like, color graded and all that stuff.
You can expect that from like Korean shows. They
always
have
high quality.
They always have like such like good cinematography for some reason. I'm like, man. So welcome to Waikiki. We can't recommend it enough. It's such a fun time.
Please watch it.
Such a fun time.
It's a really fun time.
And if you're one that knows dramas and you know the tropes and you can kind of expect it, this show kind of plays on that. Like you know what to expect, but they completely turn it on its head in a comedy type of way. So that's what we really liked. The non-wokeness. I appreciate that a lot. Like seriously, just tell a good story. You don't need your ideologies of feminism in the show. And I just don't want you guys to end up like Disney Plus, just shoving down your political ideologies down people's throats.
So there's actually just one thing I forgot. I'm just gonna briefly mention is that there's like I don't want to say there's but then there's little sexual content in it. Of course, there's like those 1 or 2 episodes, but comparing it to like American shows where they play off of like, oh, sex, oh, this person's sleeping with this person.
Yeah, they
Especially-
almost make it like it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
Or it's like they encourage it.
Yeah, it's like, especially with this show, 3 guys, 3 girls, like in an
Yeah, it's
American
like,
setting,
come
it would be
on.
like, oh yeah, you're sleeping with this person, and then
Yeah, they
they don't.
they
What I
don't touch on
appreciated
that.
about the show is the jokes don't play off of sex.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
if,
or
yeah,
like the adult, there's like the adult stuff, but then most of the jokes don't play off of like, oh, you sleeping with this,
Yeah, they don't-
your blah 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 your size is this, ha ha ha.
yeah, they never, maybe 1 or 2 times for those episodes, for example, but then for the majority of the show, they don't play off those kind of jokes, which
Yeah.
I thought was refreshing, because like using those as your punchline is just, it's tired. I really don't enjoy it either. It's
Yeah.
not even funny, you know.
Yeah, and now I think about it, the I guess the adult stuff, it's in those 1 or 2 episodes, whereas it's like implied.
Yeah.
Is implied stuff. It wasn't like straight in your face, like
Yeah,
explicit stuff.
Yeah, it did. They didn't show
They
you.
mentioned adult stuff,
But they
then
didn't,
They didn't. They implied. Some
They implied.
stuff.
It takes a lot of. They do love implied comedy. Right?
Yeah, they're
It's
just like
they'll kind of like a wink, like that's what we're talking about. Kind
Yeah,
of thing.
kinda
But they
like
never
that.
like fully.
like they don't explicitly show anything explicit.
Yeah. So.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
think-
agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I that's one thing I appreciate about
Yeah,
the
we
show.
kind of touched on that in All of Us Are Dead, where it's like if this was a U.S. show, you know for sure there's gonna be some of those scenes like
Yeah. Oh,
Do
I
we
slept
really-
with this person,
Yeah, it's
and
like,
then
do we need this? We don't. Okay.
you take it out of the show, then
Nothing.
it doesn't add anything
it
to the
doesn't
show.
add
I
anything,
think,
so-
in my opinion, most of the time. But
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that.
And I overall, I think the show is really good. Like Wes was saying, we can't recommend it enough. Just go out there if you have Netflix. Just
Yeah,
go
it's
out
on
there
Netflix.
and watch it, because it'll be, whether you watch it on your own or watch it with a
should watch it
couple
with your
friends.
friends,
Definitely recommend watching with your friends. It's a really good time for all you guys.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Bros having convos.
Who's having combos?
Yeah, if you guys have a show or something that you think we would like and you guys want us to talk about,
You
definitely
want us
leave it
to
in the
have
comment
a-
section.
Strike up
convo.
a conversation about.
Yeah, if you
us
guys
bros.
watch Welcome to Waikiki, let us know your thoughts, what you guys liked, disliked, who your favorite character is. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and this is Bros Having Convos. See you guys in the next one.